what's up? It's a new edition of Championship Chase. Ty Miller, along with Anthony Griggs and the Queen Bee of Steeler Nation, Ida Simpson. Well, the Steelers now 6-6 after a 26-7 loss to Buffalo. And the thing about that game, we heard something for the first time ever at Acrisure Stadium. The fans were chanting, "Fire Mike Tomlin, fire Mike Tomlin." Ida, how did that make you feel?
I was shocked. I was like, I had to pause to see, like, oh, that is what they're saying. And it got pretty loud. And it just was, I didn't like it. You know, you might feel that way. You might not be happy with what's going on with the season, but it's just disrespectful to me. Like, I just felt like he's been a great coach for this city. He's been a great coach for this team, like everything. Like, you just get to a point where you get to that disrespect allowed to just blast out. There have been way worse coaches in the NFL who have never experienced that before. So for him to have to feel that, I was not okay with it.
Anthony, were they out of line or were they in step with what's happening right now?
I think the Steelers fan club, you got to give them a little bit of credit too on this. The fan club hasn't seen a lot of coaches come into the Steeler organization. They've seen a lot of things in the NFL, as like Ida said, and for them to come in to fire Mike Tomlin, that's just not that. It just hasn't been the environment that the Steelers have portrayed. They're a much conservative team, more of a leader in that regard. And so for them to think of that this team is going to do the things that a normal team would do when adversity hits and things like that, that was kind of shocking because the fans just like turned on them like that. I wouldn't expect that. I've been in Cleveland a lot of times. I've heard it before, so it's not that alarming. But here in Pittsburgh, that was rather alarming.
And the reality of it is, Ty, is it's not going to make a difference. The Rooneys will make the move when the Rooneys are ready to make the move, and Mike Tomlin is ready to make the move when they have their mutual decision together. It's not going to be because the crowd is nasty and disrespectful, so they can just chill on that.
This human relations moment brought to you by PGHCHR. Does the world have you feeling anxious? Are you worried that hate and injustice will triumph? We are here to help. Report your concerns today. Call us at 412-255-2600 or email us at human.relations@pittsburghpa.gov. Pittsburgh Commission on Human Relations, enforcing civil rights laws since 1955.
Hey, Anthony, one thing that Aaron Rodgers talked about after the game was the fact that some players have possibly been missing team meetings like film study. Could that cause dissension on this team?
Yes, it sure can. When you start as a player, you start talking about other players' work ethic and missing plays or missing or sitting yourself out or not going to meetings or just not, and other players know it. That's terrible. You can never question somebody else's, not saying you can't, but you should never have to question somebody else's work ethic. And if that is the case where a player or players or the team knows that players are missing, that does cause some dissension in the locker room when you know a player's missed and you want to see what the repercussions are. As a player, that's what you're expecting. You're expecting the coach, somebody to do something. Hey, he missed the meeting, or he's not coming to this, or he's not on time, or he's not with us. Basically, that's what it comes down to. He's not with us.
You don't take it to the media. You don't go to the media and talk about that, right?
Well, that's the type of stuff that comes out when you're not winning. You're not winning and you feel like that was the cause of why things were off. That not too many people are going to get away with that. Let's just be clear with that. First of all, everybody couldn't have said that. So Aaron of all would have been the only probably safe person to be able to say it to, because it's like he has the experience. He's a Super Bowl champion. He comes in, he's seasoned, he's a veteran. So it's just like the respect that you have for him, it'll go way further than somebody else saying it. Not that it was okay, not that whoever it was will feel good about it, but sometimes you gotta, when things aren't clicking, sometimes people feel like people need the fire under them to get it going. And whoever it was know who they are, and they're like, dang, like maybe that will get me to the meet next week.
Yeah, and I can see Aaron Rodgers standing in the locker room yelling it out. Hey, some guys didn't get to the meeting. That's why we're not really where we need to be. He can do that. And he's going to be held to a higher standard. He should be, but he's used to it. He says it. He's on himself like that. And I like that. I want my leader to be that guy, to come in the locker room and yell that out and make me check myself and go, oh, you know what? I need to be here early. I need to be in the meeting. I'm not going to be the one. I'm not going to be the one that he's even going to be thinking of. So that's just what it causes a lot of times.
Well, let's move on to Baltimore. Both teams are 6-6, fighting for first place in the AFC North. Ida, which one's a better 6-6 team?
I can't even get the words out to say, but I feel like it's definitely the Baltimore Ravens right now. I mean, they have a lively, they have a lively, healthy, dependable quarterback that can make things happen. Watching that game last week, he ain't make things happen, but he's capable of making some things happen. I don't know what's going on with Baltimore. They're not in the best spot either. So he's back. They were behind because he wasn't there. Now he's here, and they came back on that streak, and then now it's like, what's going on here? Something is amiss. On paper, to me, their offense should be way more explosive than it is, and it hasn't been clicking for some reason. So I don't know what it is, but we don't got an offense that's clicking. So I'd be like, who are we to say? But they have the it factor. They have Lamar Jackson that can make it happen. The only problem is in this game is that this is a defense that will spy him, that knows him rather well, and will get after him. So it's going to be more of the same of what they had to experience with the Cincinnati Bengals. It's that interdivisional rivalry where we got to be ready to go. We know you. We know how to beat you, and they beat him well, and they do know how to beat him in Baltimore. So it's just like, yes, they have the better, but I think our defense neutralizes that.
Anthony, two old boxers like they're on the ropes. One boxer is home, though. How much of a difference will the Ravens being at MTM Bank Stadium be in this game?
I think they're happy that it is a home game for them. Okay. If it was here in Pittsburgh, I would have no doubt that Pittsburgh would pick it up and all the energy that would be going. And I think that's what's missing sometimes, the energy, the excitement, the desire, the fun, the emotion. I want to see that as a defensive player. That's what I like to see. That's what gets you going when you get playing off of somebody else's emotion. I didn't see that with the Steelers too much. Okay, Joey Porter made some plays, but I didn't see guys going around, high-fiving, doing stuff, run. So I want to see more of that. Home field allows you to do that. You can run to your fans and do that. Now, with that said, Pittsburgh's going to travel well. They always have. And this is a game where the Pittsburgh fans will come out, okay, because they know that this is, I'm just hoping, regardless of the chance they had at home games, I'm hoping that the Steeler fans will come out for this game and support. And I think they will. And here I am. I'm just shocked as I sit here and I'm sitting here talking about the Steelers in this way because I've never seen the Steelers have a game like that I just saw against Buffalo. And I was kind of like, oh my gosh, who are they? They were a different team. So I really hope that they can do this at an away game against Baltimore in Baltimore's home stadium.
Well, let's put a score on it. The Ravens 6-6, the Steelers 6-6, vying for first place in the AFC North. Ida, who wins and why will they win?
It's a tough one, and usually I'm going to say Baltimore. My mind tells me Baltimore just because it's in Baltimore. I always expect these two teams to split, even though the Steelers are better for the sweep than the Ravens are. But I feel like just because of the circumstances, what the Steelers are coming off with, what they're going through with their quarterback, all of those different things, that the Ravens will win at home.
Oh, wow. That's a shocker because I thought you were going to waver and say your Steelers as always.
They should, but I don't think they're just banged up, and I don't think those bones are going to be healed by the time he gets to Baltimore. So I'm like, even though it's not that same bruising defense, he's lucky it's not the same defense that the Baltimore Ravens usually carry because they're not as tough as they used to be. It's not that type of hard-nosed, bloody battle that you would have to usually deal with, but it is at home. It is in their favor, and Aaron is banged up. Something, maybe they'll get deeper on the tape. Something might give where they pull it out, but I don't expect them to. I expect this to be the even split for both teams winning at home.
And what's your score?
It's going to be a nasty, ugly draw out. I'm going to go with back in the day, 13-10 maybe.
Anthony, your take on the game and who wins it and by what score?
Well, I think it's going to be an exciting game. I think that there is X factors on both sides, really. But unfortunately, our X factors are a little banged up right now on defense. And It's not going to be a defensive game, I think, even though it's going to be who can stop whose offense first or who can hang in there to the very end. And they got a couple of aspects with Henry, and we saw what Buffalo's guy did, and Henry's a whole nother load with that. With that said, they got Lamar too, and he's coming back. He's got things to prove. But this is the Steelers, Lamar. For whatever reason, you don't come up to – you become a different person when you play Pittsburgh.
True.
And this game here, as much as you might think that what you saw, okay, they're still the Steelers. And if that's enough spark to get the Steelers up and excited, injuries, stay in the locker room. Okay, we're going out there to play. And this is our season. That's what the talk has got to be in the Steeler locker room. And so I'm going to go out on a enthusiastic way of a player in the locker room saying this is our season. I'm going with the Steelers. I think they might rise up and beat Baltimore at home and put themselves in a position to say, see, I told you this is what we can do, guys. And this is the game that can do it. So I'm going to say they can do it. I think the game itself is going to be a tight game, 17-10, something like that.
Agree. You know what? You got me ready to switch already because King Henry don't run well against us either. But I'm gonna stand with my pick. But I hope you're right.